Hey guys, Vicky here, the Words Lady, and I am so happy and excited to be with you for the first live training of 2018. So happy New Year, everybody. And I want to, as we're starting, go ahead and say hello, and let me make sure that I am live streaming in the right place. There we are, yay. So tell me who's here, say hello so I know that I'm not talking to air. And I want to talk today about how to grab your vision for 2018. Happy New Year, VJ. So we're going to talk about three things, and this kind of stemmed off of some of the stuff that we were talking about in Real Deal Insider today. I just got off a little while ago a 2-hour live training with them about planning 2018, making sure that you're motivated, that your goals and intentions are being set and met, how to make sure you're keeping in action and stuff like that. So thought it would be a great topic for us to talk about as well. And the first thing that I want to talk about is keeping your vision right in front of you. Then I want to talk about what to do when times get tough. And then the third thing is about how big your goals and intentions really are. Okay? So let's get going. All right. Hey, Elise. So number one, keeping your vision right in front of you. There are so many different examples of people out there who reminded themselves over and over and over again. I always remember, like when I was younger, I don't know if people do this anymore, like if you were trying to remember something, you would tie a little string on your finger, or maybe if you weren't supposed to do something, you would have a rubber band around your hand and you'd flick it, right, to keep you from doing something. And I know there's that story from Jim Carrey about that $1 million check that he wrote himself for services rendered when he was wanting to become a Hollywood star. And he's way surpassed that now, $5-10 million. VJ says yes, remember that. Hey Catherine, glad you got to join. And this is just an example of someone who kept that vision right in front of them. So whatever you need to do for yourself, you can write yourself a check as well. I used to have one on my mirror. And yes, Catherine, you made it, yay. And you could write yourself a check like Jim Carrey did, put it in your wallet and carry it around. Some people have suggested putting a $100 bill in their wallet, but really just not spending it, but thinking about the things that they would spend it on. You can also do other things like your vision board types of things, but let's say you're looking to buy a new house or saving money for your child's college and things like that. You could put a key on your key ring. You could put your child's college, their dream college photo in their bedroom, just different things like that to make sure that your vision is kept in front of you. There's other things to keep in front of you as well that will get you to that vision. Things like pictures of your ideal client. Maybe you put a couple pictures up of your favorite clients so that you can start calling in the clients that are like that favorite client. Or maybe you put up things like, Oprah or Marie Forleo or Lisa Nichols or Tony Robbins or things like that you aspire to be like, so that those stay in front of you. I have many, many pictures above my whiteboard of different things. I definitely have a lot of Wonder Woman stuff, and I keep telling myself I'm going to bring that stuff downstairs because I actually do these live streams in my basement, and I keep saying that I'm going to bring those things down so I can show you guys. So I need to remember to do that so that you can see. I have like Wonder Woman bands, and I have her Lego clear airplane, and just things like that to remind me of what I want to stand for, the things that inspire me, people who I admire, and keeping that vision in front of you, and the vision for your business. What is it that you want to accomplish in 2018? And make them measurable things. Is it a dollar amount? Is it a number of clients? Is it a freedom, a time freedom type of thing? Like whatever it is, create that vision and keep it in front of you, okay? Number two, let's talk about what to do when times get tough. Now, last year, my second launch of my Easy Writer program, my guaranteed Amazon bestseller program, completely flopped. It was bad. It was really, really bad. I had spent, I think, about $8,000 in ads, money on other things. I had also paid a coach to help me to do this 6-figure launch that I was going for it, right? I did 2 5-day challenges prior to, I did an event, like I did all this stuff. And in the end, it was a big fat egg. I gave away a scholarship spot and 0 people signed up. And I was $15,000 out, but also $15,000 wiser. So the question is, when I look back, to me it feels like it was so long ago, because in a way it was. But for me, when I look at things like that, maybe it's part of how I was raised or how I see things, I look at things like that and just go, well, you know what? It didn't work. And what can I do now that would make my next shot better? It's not that I don't want that still. It's that I need to learn from that. Nothing in the world is ever wasted so long as we are taking something away from it, from that experience. And everything that we do, whether it's with people, situations, whatever we do, there's always something to be learned from it. And if you truly believe that whatever happens is happening for your good and the path that you're taking always has a purpose, things that happen to you, they might be a setback or disappointment, but only minorly and only temporarily, right? So when you have those tough times and you think, oh gosh, is this a sign that I'm supposed to throw the towel in? Check in with yourself. Is it a sign that you're being tested to see if this is really, truly what you want? Because I could have said, you know what, forget it. I don't have any more money to spend. I can't do anything else, blah, 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 blah. Lo and behold, the next program that I launched enrolled 34 people. Like that. Somebody said to me, how did you do that? And it was really odd because I basically kind of said, I'm not sure how that happened. I don't know what happened. But I'll tell you there was one big difference. And one was that the other one felt like a push and a try and oh, I gotta do this. And the other one was done with such ease and joy. I'm not saying not to take action because that's not going to get you anywhere. But what I'm saying is that the energy that I was putting out was totally different between the 2 different launches. And so when the going gets tough for you, I would suggest going back and thinking about those things that you've done, the times when you have overcome, because you're stronger than you think, right? And when we look back on our life and think about all those things that we've come through, it's like, wow, if I was somebody else and I listened to my own story, I might actually be impressed. But because we're the ones that go through it, we downplay it, we think that it's not such a big deal. We look at more of the negative things rather than the positive things, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But go back and look at these things and look at things with a lens of gratitude, whether you think it was good or whether you think it was bad. If you go through and look at things with a lens of gratitude and then add to it all the things that you look back and you realize that God parted the Red Seas for you sometimes, it will help you to get the perspective and keep your momentum going so that you don't throw the towel in. I think so many times the statistic that says, that entrepreneurs fail within the first 3 or 5 years of business is because of these types of things. Hey, Emmanuel. And if you can't find all these awesome things that you've gone through or whatever, ask one of your best friends or your business besties. Just say, I'm trying to put this list together. I'm having a hard time. Can you help me? And it's interesting because I last year was putting together a sales page, and I talked to one of my business besties, and she was like, just look at all the places that you've gone in the last 18 months of your life. I'm like, what are you talking about? I haven't been to that many places, like, 4, something like that. One of the things that I wanted to do when I started my business was to make sure I traveled, that I got to Europe. Paris was my dream, and now I've been there twice. VJ says accountability partners are great for that. Yes, they are. Pick the right ones. Pick the right ones. So anyways, I went back and I documented everything. And I had been to 18 places in the last 18 months. And I was like, what happened there? I'm not really sure what happened there. So sometimes it does take somebody else to remind you of all the things that you've been able to accomplish and all the things that you've been able to do. So when times get tough, refer back to that. All right, number 3. How big are your goals, right? People talk about these big, audacious goals and whatever. And I kind of like to say intentions instead of goals, because the word intention just purely by itself means that you intend on something happening. You're confident and you believe that this is going to happen. So a lot of times when I go to events and such, I make intentions before I get there. If I'm going to spend money to go to an event, there's certain things I am expecting to learn. There's certain intentions that I want to happen. And most of the time, one of my intentions is that whoever's hosting that event, whether it has 25 people in it or 5,000 people in it, I'm going to leave and they're going to know my name. I'm going to have made an impression. So interestingly enough, in November when I went to Lisa Nichols' event, and she is my coach, one of my intentions was I've got to get on stage. And I don't know if you remember that video that I posted. My intention was to get in front of those people. And she actually had said, we aren't going to take any more people on stage. We're not going to do any more. And everybody put your hand down. So we're standing there, and then she goes, you. And I'm thinking she's talking to one of her volunteer helpers that she needs something or whatever. And then she, no, you. And I'm like, me? She's like, yeah. And she's like, come up here. So she actually had said she wasn't going to take any more people. And then she called me up. Intention, law of attraction. Sorry, my phone went off there. Dave says, dream big, then dream bigger. Yes, I love The Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Yes, Dr. Dyer was a Michigander like me. And here's the thing. When you're thinking about your big dreams and your big goals and these things that you want to do, 2 things about dreaming really big is great. But when your dream becomes a wish or a fantasy, it's not so much an intention anymore. It just becomes a dream that you don't really think is going to happen because that's what a fantasy is, right? So make your goals big and also make them something you believe that you can have. Stretch it all the way to the ends of what you believe, right? And then maybe stretch it just a little bit more. And then the other side, the flip side of that is, if you can accomplish your dreams in your own strength, in your own talent, in your own ability, and the resources that you have right now at this moment, then your dreams are actually too small. And I'll tell you too that they won't make you happy either. It'll feel like you settled. It'll feel like you didn't quite go for it. Because anything that we do in life as humans, we crave that growth. We crave those types of things. And I personally crave a little bit of a challenge. One of my coaches said before that she's actually grateful and thankful that she did not reach all the goals that she set for herself, because that only gave her more of the, to go for it. You know, when you get close enough, obviously you're like, oh yeah, you know what, I can actually do that next time. Let me keep going and let me set the bar a little bit higher. Let me do a little bit more next time. So sometimes when you don't exactly hit your top tier goal, it's actually okay, because that gives you motivation to continue to go. And then the next time you hit it, and the next time, you know, and every time we hit something, there's this thing, you know, like my book, Deliberate Creator, is called 40 Days, what is it called? Deliberate Creator, Standing in the Gap. Oh my gosh. Deliberate Creator is the course. The book is called Standing in the Gap, 40 Days to Becoming a Deliberate Creator of Abundance in Your Life. Excuse me. So standing in the gap, the reason why I said that is because every time we reach something, we tend to then just want something else, because we have desires. We always have desires. And when we reach a certain place, we want another something, right? That's just how we are. That's why we grow. When you stop allowing yourself to dream or have goals or say, you know what, this is good enough, I'm going to settle right here, then life just seems, you know? We're always striving for something else. It's kind of sad if we don't, quite honestly. I was having a discussion with somebody close to me about the different ways that we were raised. And of course, I bring this up, you know, Asian cultures, it's like, if you ain't number one, you're nothing. I know there's a lot of other people out there who were raised in families where there was a lot of pressure to excel and succeed. If that's one of you, let me know. Give me a comment there. But, you know, as much as I always felt like I was falling short in some ways, my mom instilled in me this idea that anything was possible. And I've shared before how she came from a very poor family in Taiwan, and how they immigrated here, and maybe it's that immigrant type of mentality and dream that they had, that she knew one day, without a shadow of a doubt, she was going to get out of poverty. She was going to get out of struggle. When I was little, she would sew my clothes. My sister hated it. I happened to love it. All in perspective, right? When I went to college, they didn't make enough money. I qualified for a Pell Grant, you know, and she knew, and she knew that this was going to eventually happen. It didn't happen until they were 45, 50 years old, but it happened. And she taught me that I could have anything that I wanted so long as I was willing to do what I needed to do to get there, and I had the initiative and the motivation and the want to learn the things that I need to do in order to get there. Now, sometimes that has made it difficult for me to let go of things in my business and stop being such a solopreneur that I have to have my hands in everything. And the good thing about that, though, is I have pushed and pushed and pushed on and told myself, you know, if you want to learn that, go do it. And because of that, I've become very well versed in a lot of things, not just book coaching, not just law of attraction, not just marketing. Catherine says, you're a great coach, Vicki. The message is very clear and on point. Awesome. I'm glad, Catherine. So this whole entire story had a point. Oh my gosh. And I just got off tangent there. About the conversation I was having with this person who's really close to me, that he grew up in a family where they didn't even talk about college. They were just like, you know what? Go and stay out of jail. Go get a job, earn some money, take a vacation here and there, and that was that. And it boggled my mind that there were people in the world that didn't have dreams. Like, I had a dream college, I have a dream car, I have a dream house, I have like different things. I have dreams for my business, dreams of how I want to be on stage, dreams of, you know, I have dreams that I wish I was 3 inches taller, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But it blew my mind to hear somebody say, I never had a dream college. I never had a dream house. I never had a dream job. And I still don't to this day. It's almost like because his parents didn't talk about it, because that's the way that he grew up, that seed or that part of your brain that, like, I'm not really sure what happened there, but there is no dream. It's more of, let me get by, life is okay, I have enough to eat and a little bit extra so we can have fun sometimes, and that's great. And I wish that everybody in the world had somebody in their life, like my mother, who instilled in them that seed that said that they could do anything that they want to do. And I try really hard with my kids to tell them the same thing. My two boys are very logical, very linear, but also the youngest one is a bit creative too. And they always like to find the little loopholes and stuff. And I'm like, you can be anything you want, you can do anything you want. And my youngest goes, well, I can't fly. I'm like, well, you could in an airplane. So anyways, the whole point about this is, make sure that you dream, you're connected to those dreams, that those dreams are goals and intentions, not just fantasies and wishes. And keep that vision in front of you for 2018. When the times get tough, go back to gratitude and looking at the times that God parted the seas, parted the Red Seas for you, because I'm sure you can find them, right? And I want to leave you with this today. How many people will it take to change your life and your business? So many times we set these goals of like, I want 10,000 people on my email list. And that'll eventually happen with years, right? And then it's like, okay, I want X number of people on my Facebook page, my group, all this stuff. But in reality, how many people is it going to take to change your life? If you have a program that's $2,000, you only need 5 people in it every month to make 10K. If you have a 5K program, it only takes 2 people. If you have a group program and it costs, let's say $1,000, then each month, if you can enroll 10 people in it, at the end of the year, that's 120 people. We're not talking 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 people. So as you look into 2018, ask yourself, how many people do you really need for your business and life to change it? Wayne Gretzky said this thing, and he said, maybe it wasn't the talent the Lord gave me, because really he wasn't built, right? I don't think he was a tall guy. I don't think he was supposed to be he wasn't the classic example of a great hockey player, right? So maybe he had to work a little bit harder. And he said, maybe it wasn't the talent that the Lord gave me. Maybe it was the passion. It was the passion that the Lord gave him. And that's the same as the desires that are put in our hearts. There's no mistake you have certain desires, because you have a different desire than I have. Like, we might have similarities. Like, I want to be able to have time freedom. I want to live a lifestyle that I'm thriving in. I want to help people around the world, and I want to have a global impact. So maybe some of those things are the same, but then there are other desires that are completely different between you and I. And that is purely because God made us all different, and each of us has different seeds planted in us. So don't go and chuck out the desires that are within you. Don't let other people tell you that those things are wrong. And if you're surrounded by people who keep telling you that they're wrong, or you can't do it, or you shouldn't try, remember that those are their fears coming up for themselves and maybe trying to protect you, and not really your truth. So in 2018, hold on to your truth and that vision. Hi, Mike. We're just wrapping up. So I would love to hear your takeaways from what we've talked about today. And what kind of vision you have for your business and your life for 2018. I would love to hear those. And as you share those with me, then that helps me to know what kinds of trainings I should put in the group to help you to grab hold of those visions, intentions, and goals. Now, I mentioned earlier that today was the first live training of my Real Deal Insider program. And, I was so excited. We had so much fun. The energy was just unbelievable. And, if you're looking for a community of high vibe people, Real Deal Insider is it. And it's all about marketing. Congrats. Thanks, VJ. You're welcome, Catherine. So, it's all about marketing. And the reason why is because my journey as a business coach actually started out with marketing. I've always loved words. I actually thought I was going to have an advertising company. And I always knew at one point I would switch to being a business coach versus a wellness coach, which was where I started. And my love of marketing has always been about words. And that's why this year, if you've noticed, I've started to introduce myself as the Words Lady. And I would really encourage you guys to find out and figure out a way to introduce yourself or something that you want to be known for that people will just go and associate with you. So that when they hear your name, oh, that's Catherine Mitchell. That's VJ Niles. She's, or that's Mike Wynn. He, I know Mike uses his last name Wynn as part of what he's known for. So anyways, the reason why Real Deal Insider came about was because I knew so much that prior to writing your book, you really needed to be clear on your message and your mission with your business. So Real Deal Insider helps you set up that business, hone your message, figure out your target audience and your signature programs. Then it makes sense to write your book because now you know how everything kind of ties together. Because the book is a tool, it's a marketing piece and not an end product. Win with win. Yes, I knew there was something about that. See, and I remembered why? Because he uses it and I've seen it before. So think of something catchy for you guys, right? I'd love to hear those that you come up with. So anyways, I knew that the missing piece to people who are writing their books is the beginning part of setting up everything in their business. Not everything like have all the systems and everything all set up, meaning setting up your business in the sense that you knew what the business was for and what you wanted to be known for and that signature product so that the book fits in with it really well. Because when you try to write a book prior to figuring out what your business is, then it's like and later on you're going to have a book and it's going to end up being a vanity book. And that is not what you want, right? You want a book that's going to take those readers and turn them into clients. So then really how it goes is like, if you're in the beginning stages of business, you would start with Real Deal Insider for all the marketing and stuff like that. Then you would write your book so you have the best marketing tool out there, a best-selling book. And then we create the funnels and all the marketing strategies and stuff like that back in Real Deal Insider or in my high level, more like a VIP one-on-one coaching. And that is why Real Deal Insider came about, is because deep in my heart, I knew that there were pieces that were missing. And I felt like to serve my community the best, I had to have the before and the after part of the book. Now, people can come at different stages and whatever works for them is something that we can figure out, but I needed to have all those components, and that's why Real Deal Insider became birthed, and it has all these things in the library about sales pages and honing your message and discovery calls and wealth consciousness and funnel swipe files and paid book swipe files and things like this, and it's going to be growing all the time. I know there's going to be more stuff on landing pages and discovery calls and things like that as people go into it and tell me what they need. Just like here, I want to know what it is that you guys are looking for and what you're struggling with, so comment and let me know so that I can put those things together for you. And then if you need more information and more help on any of these programs for 2018, so that maybe this is what you need to grab hold of your vision for 2018. Real Deal Insider is only $297. It's less than $10 a day to be part of the group, get my eyes on your actual copy, get specific about the problems that you have in your business. And that's where I find that it's different. in other groups, you don't get that live personal interaction and stuff like that. You get instructions and then you're off to do it on your own, and that's not what I wanted. So anyways, I am super geeked and excited that that started today, and it's ongoing enrollment, so you can join at any time. You get replays of everything. So what happened today in our 2-hour training that was oh so fun, you can go ahead and go back and listen to as well. All right, so comment, let me know what your 2018 visions are, what your top takeaways are for what we went over today, and a bonus. Tell me what you're going to take action on this week. All right, that's it. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.